So, John, coming in from Netflix, this is the official trailer of Mr. McMahon. It's 2 minutes, 19 seconds. This is Vince, isn't it, from the WWE, formerly the WWF. I don't know too much about this guy.
I'm trying to think his entrance song again.
Outside, obviously, the wrestling. An entrepreneur, one of the founders of WWF/E. It's... you know how I feel about wrestling, John. I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to offend anyone.
Oh, I loved it.
But you loved it.
I still do love it.
I think it was just an age thing with me. I was in, obviously, my late teens when this was sort of at its peak in the UK, so I kind of missed it as a child. It wasn't the only wrestling I got as a child was that shit stuff on a Saturday afternoon, British stuff, Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks and all that shit.
I went as a little kid.
And
I got
proper
to see
wrestling that you get in the Olympics, it's not entertaining.
No, it's shite.
It might be okay if you're doing it, but nah, not for me. But this was the thing, John. Your age group.
I mean, when I went when they came to Scotland in the 90s, I seen fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Big Boss Man,
the Ultimate Warrior,
The Undertaker. I seen them all, man, back in the day. Just missed the Attitude Era. For some reason, I stopped going at the best fucking time.
Interesting, John.
But I watched it. I watched the whole thing.
This comes from the filmmaker Chris Smith, who did Tiger King, which was another. That was another Netflix thing, wasn't it? So.
That was COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the production's there. In terms of McMahon out with WWE...
Yeah, he's very controversial, isn't he? Yeah.
I don't know.
There's been some controversy. Yeah. I think he had to step down. There was some allegations of misconduct.
Okay.
And I've seen snippets of what he was potentially up to. Also not going to get into that, but hopefully they do get into it in the actual documentary, because if it's the rise and fall, then you have to discuss the fall.
Yeah, I'm here to be educated because I don't know too much about the guy.
I don't want to put my foot in it because I don't know much. I've not really been watching the WWE, and recently, the last time, I know CM Punk's back, but it was really CM Punk's last run was when I was last really into it, and he was facing off against the Undertaker and whatnot.
Okay.
And obviously Cena back in the day. I'd say that's about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
just unbelievable. The pipe bombs or whatever mic fucking drop stuff he was doing, it was just unbelievable. From Chicago, he's a good fucking guy. That's when I was last properly watching it. So I've not really witnessed the fall firsthand.
Yeah.
I need to get back into wrestling, incidentally. I need to get back into it. But yeah, McMahon was unbelievable back in the day. The Attitude Era, he made it so enjoyable. Him and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and just the unbelievable stuff they get up to.
Yeah, I'm kind of
attacking him in the hospital and stuff like that. I'm kind of
reading a synopsis here just to sort of get into the sort of headspace where we're at with this, the perspective. It doesn't look like it's Vince McMahon. It's
I can't imagine he's involved.
Green Litmus.
Yeah, no chance.
So I think it's going to be about the controversy more than anything.
But he's one of the most illustrious sort of people in entertainment period over the last 30, 40 years. He's been, regardless of what's happened and transpired in the downfall, building that company into the premier wrestling organisation, the whole Attitude Era stuff, WCW, the battling, just cutthroat. He's a really fascinating guy, so it's the perfect person to do a documentary on, really, and I'm really fascinated to see what it's like. I'd fucking watch it. The guy is unbelievable, regardless. You can talk about I'm not going to get into it, fuck it, we'll just watch it. I'm not going to go into the downfall. I says I wouldn't. I'll watch it and I'll learn myself. I don't know anything about it. Shall we press play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Play.
People have wondered who I really am. You know, portrayals me that I'm a bad guy. But no one really knows me.
I didn't realize from us.
In the world of professional wrestling,
Vince McMahon.
he's easy to hate. What you expect,
I don't fight fair.
that's exactly what you're going to get.
Also
It's not my fault that I happen to be a self-made billionaire!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to All American Wrestling. When I bought my dad's business, my vision was to make this mainstream.
Welcome to WrestleMania!
Vince created this huge empire, billion-dollar entertainment juggernaut.
He did things no one thought were possible.
Everything he did turned to gold.
There were so many scandals going on.
On trial for steroids.
90% of the wrestlers are on steroids.
Another dead wrestler.
This rocked the very foundation of the WWE. I would accept no responsibility whatsoever.
None whatsoever. They live this lifestyle.
Breaking news, Vince McMahon is stepping aside.
The lawsuit accusing him of countless depraved and humiliating acts.
I didn't think the lawsuit could shock me, and I was floored.
When it comes to Vince, a lot of that is a character. He's going to show you what he wants you to see.
The lines of reality are very blurred in our business. The individual loses all sense of who they really are.
My name is not Vince. My name is Mr. McMahon.
Does look really good, man. Really good.
25th of September, not long, John. You know, when it's formatted this way, it's kind of, as you say, the rise and fall, John, but it seems quite balanced. I may be wrong, but in this trailer it looks pretty balanced. It's not going to be whitewashing over anything. It looks like it's going to get into it doesn't really get into the allegations in the trailer, and maybe I don't know if they will get into it too much, but I'm very interested in this story and where it goes. And
the trouble with a guy like McMahon is that once you get to a certain level of power and you're a billionaire and you've got complete control over this organisation, the storylines and characters making and breaking people's careers, that level of influence and power, if you've got any corruption whatsoever, it's going to lead to you doing some weird and crazy shit. You feel like you're God and you can control people. Obviously, most people you'd like to think wouldn't take advantage of that, but some people are going to end up taking advantage of that.
And we're not for a minute saying that's...
I'm not saying it happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know anything about it.
But I get what you mean, John. A person,
unbelievable power he's got in that industry.
Position,
And I know for a fact he was curating people, deciding names and who gets to win titles and who doesn't. He was actively involved.
I was more surprised that he was
people.
partaking in this. Just reading the synopsis, I thought he'll have nothing to do with this, but it looks like he's involved in it to an extent.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to get his story across, his version of events, and trying to balance it, and clear his name. But I don't know. But it looks very fascinating.
But I'm glad they showed the sort of rise as well, because it was just unbelievable. You're taking from a really small, crummy production to selling out fucking 80, 90,000, 100,000 seater stadiums.
Yep.
$1 billion.
It's funny, John, because normally these kind of things will sort of be contained within the US, and they'll build it up to be the biggest thing in the world, the World Series, that kind of thing, the Super Bowl, which are all massive. I'm not saying they're not, but for this is a worldwide thing that across the planet.
Just in Glasgow a couple of months ago.
Are so into, so passionate about. They followed it from. Obviously, the older generations have followed this from the very beginning right up to now. So, as you said, it's just taking it from the sort of early roots of I think it was his father that owned the organisation, and taking it into a multinational corporation.
Yeah, it's just really fascinating, man. There's so much stuff. The steroid stuff, obviously, concussion stuff with Chris Benoit, what happened with him. Had a brain of like an 80-year-old because of all the falls and damage. Also ended up murdering his wife and his son, killing himself. There's a lot of controversy surrounding wrestling and obviously the handling of the wrestlers. I know CM Punk left because he had something going on in his back, a staph infection or something, and he wasn't happy with how they were treating him. He wasn't getting enough breaks. There's always been that controversy, followed it. But I'm conflicted because I grew up watching it, like I says. Like likes a Triple H, Mankind, The Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin,
John, do you think
Kane? It's just the guy gave me unbelievable entertainment.
I take it that was Steve Austin. It was
The Rock, you Steve Austin, you Triple H,
and obviously Dwayne Johnson. I was going to ask, do you think with them being involved in this, it could be a little bit skewed? Sort of.
I don't think so. I think they'll just give their honest impression of what the guy was like, what he did for them. But obviously you kind of see it with Triple H, where he's basically saying, you let you see what you want to see. Yeah. Everything was a kind of facade. I don't know if I don't think he's going to stab him in the back. He's married to his fucking daughter. I don't know. I don't know, Stephen. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, though. It looks really well put together. It looks really interesting. It's something I will definitely watch. Because
it's a docu-series.
Yeah, I will 100% watch that, because he's a fascinating individual. regardless of what's happened. Hugely successful, controversial figure, so I'm well on board for that.
Yeah.
Looks really interesting. I like a good documentary when they're done well.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's
Netflix
nothing
are
better.
pretty good at it, yeah.
Nothing better. Well, there is a really high caliber film, but not much better than a good documentary. What's your thoughts though on Mr. McMahon? Thoughts on the trailer? Thoughts on the man himself? On the wrestling industry? Maybe you can share your thoughts on the fall. Maybe you know more than I do. I've not really been keeping up in the last 10 years or so. I've dipped my toes in every now and again. I know CM Punk's back. I think he is. I know he is because he was in Glasgow. He was wearing a Celtic top. And I know he's not a Celtic fan. He was doing it to wind up Drew McIntyre, I think, who's champion just now, Rangers fan. But still, it warms me to see him, and I always loved him anyway. Maybe you can share thoughts down below on anything. Our reaction. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyes. Always left to be said. Until next time, thank you for watching us. And bye-bye.